I want to tell you about the truth of selling on Amazon. But before we get started with the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to post daily videos. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below what you think I'm going to say here. Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? What do you think I'm going to talk about? And let's get right into it. So the truth of selling on Amazon. Well, firstly, I just want to say to you, the most important thing to know is it's not as easy as everyone lets off to be. Even I have done that in the past. I've made it sound easier than it actually is, and it's really not. And I'm going to tell you the three, I think it's three. I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I personally found really difficult, and not that I just found difficult, but I know other people found them difficult as well. And I've been helping a friend start their Amazon business just because I wanted to help them, and they asked, and I thought, why not? So I've been helping them, and they recently ran into an issue which for them was quite complicated because they've never dealt with it before. So I went on the phone and I sorted it out. And again, it wasn't such a complicated issue, but the thing is, if you didn't know what to do, then it became a complicated issue. So it's one of those things that if you don't know how to do it, it's really hard, but as soon as you know how to do it, it becomes really, really easy. And it's like very easy to learn how to do it. It's just knowing what to do. So let's go through some of the things, and I've written them down because, well, there's a lot that goes on about Amazon, and I only wanted to discuss the things that I found the most complicated. So the first thing is the suppliers. So suppliers, which means shipping, customs, all that sort of stuff. And this was the issue my friend had. So firstly, just backtrack. The issue with suppliers, sorting out suppliers with Amazon, is not as easy as everyone says. So yes, it's easier to do suppliers now than it used to be back then, because you've got WhatsApp, you've got Skype, you can just find them on Alibaba. But again, you still need to make sure you find the right supplier. You need to make sure you give them the right information. You've got to make sure they put the right addresses on. You've got to make sure they make the right products. You've got to make sure there's no defects. You've got to just make sure you in general have the right supplier. And a lot of the time that could be an issue, and you don't obviously want that to be an issue. So again, going into it blind makes it very, very difficult. But having some sort of guide, I should say, having some sort of guide telling you what supplier to look for, what kind of supplier to look for, what things that they must have, like whether they should be gold star rated, how long they should have been in business for, and just what to ask them. I find that would make the process so much easier. But for a first time seller on Amazon, they would find that quite difficult. And the problem that my friend had was his stuff, which was coming to my house, because again, like I told you, he's my close friend, I'm helping him out. His stuff was basically, he made the order, he did everything. I made sure he did it on his own so that he would learn what he was doing. And then he ran into a bit of problems with customs, because customs can be a bitch, we all know that. So he ran into a bit of problems with customs, and not only was it customs, but his actual supplier got the address wrong, which was an issue because I had to call TNT and make sure they changed the address. And again, the stuff just wasn't showing up, and it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, and it was meant to show up 2.5 weeks ago, but it wasn't showing up. So I messaged him and I said, hey, where's your stuff? It hasn't shown up to me yet. Can I have a tracking number so I can chase this? So he's like, oh, I'll go and get your tracking number. So that's another thing. He didn't know to get tracking numbers so much. So he went to go and get a tracking number. He got a tracking number. He gave it to me, and I saw that the stuff is just not going anywhere for whatever reason. So I called them and I sorted it out over the phone, and hopefully it should arrive tomorrow now. So well, when you're watching this, it should arrive today. Whatever, doesn't make a difference. My point being is that it's a very easy problem to overcome, but if you don't know how to overcome it, it just feels like it's quite difficult. So the second problem, let's get the post-it note. So the second problem that I get, and I had this a bit, but not so much because I use an accountant from day one. But the second issue that I generally get from people is tax, and how does it work, and setting up a company, and VAT registration, and paying tax, and all of that sort of stuff, and customs duty. All I can say to you is yes, it sounds complicated, and yes, it does make the whole Amazon process more complicated, but all I can say to you is don't worry about that stuff. Just, it's not important. You would be so small time, you would be just setting up your company, just getting your product in. Don't worry, don't overwhelm yourself with that sort of, just complications like that. So customs, okay, his order came through customs and it was fine, right? Now the address was all wrong and that's what messed up the process up, but the actual customs was fine. So customs is not an issue. Tax, not an issue because you won't be making that much money from day one. In fact, you'll be making nothing from day one because you won't even have an income yet. So don't worry about tax. Setting up your company, now I have an entire video which I can put there or there, I don't know which way it goes, but I have an entire video on how to set up a company. It's so easy, you just do it on the .gov. That was a loud bike. Again, that was a loud bike. You just do it on the .gov website and it's super easy. You just literally go through all the steps, fill it out, register your company. I think it's £12 in the UK, that is. So again, really not a problem. But if you don't want to, then you can just sell on Amazon as an individual and change to a business when you are ready. So that's another thing you have to worry about. And VAT registration, again, don't worry about VAT registration because I believe the threshold where you have to register for VAT is 85 grand. I could be wrong by a few grand because they changed it recently. But again, not an issue you have to worry about, so don't even think about that sort of stuff. And in our course, we don't cover that at the beginning because at the beginning it's just about finding a product, finding a supplier. We don't want to overwhelm you with all the complications of setting up a business because again, if you think that going into Amazon is going to be easy, then that's a bit naive. Because if Amazon was easy, if selling on Amazon was so easy, then everyone would do it, everyone would be making money on it, and it would just be like that. But again, it's not like that because it's setting up a business. It's a legit business. It's ordering stuff from another country. It's business stuff. It's getting it in. It's sending it to warehouses. It's getting sales, getting reviews. It is a proper legitimate business. So it's normal for it to be difficult at times. And the last one, which I can't even read, is I can read it. It is finding a product. Now, that's probably, well, I wouldn't say the main issue I get, but a lot of people ask me about this. A lot of people who have not bought into our course ask me about finding a product. A lot of people who bought onto our course haven't asked me about finding a product, but they've asked me to check their product that they have found. So whatever happens, I'm always doing product research because we've got tons of students who are finding products every single day, which is amazing, and the products they are finding are incredible, and they are sending it to our one-to-one support where we look into it, do a bit of further research for them and let them know what we think. And then I've got people who haven't taken the course who are just asking me what I think about their products in general, and I don't always get to those people because it's so overwhelming with the one-to-one support. I focus mainly on that because they've invested in us and I want to spend more time on them, if that makes sense, which it does. But the main issue that people have is finding a product, and again, if you know how to do it, it becomes easier. It's just a matter of time. So if you know exactly what you're doing to find a product and you just aren't finding a product, just give yourself more time, right? It's a matter of time, and eventually you will find a product that will sell well. So in terms of me saying the truth about Amazon, well, the truth about Amazon is it's not going to be as easy as you might think. So don't go into the business thinking I'm going to be rich, this is going to be piss easy, I'm going to just sail along, find a product easily, sell it easily, make money, because it's really not that hard, okay? It's really not that easy. It's really not that easy. Make sure that you find a good product, like a really good product, because it will just make your life so much easier. Make sure you find a legit supplier who speaks good English, because again, it will make your life so much easier dealing with someone who knows what they're doing. And when it comes to getting sales, don't worry about that sort of stuff, because that sort of stuff is, well, again, it's not easy, but it's not particularly hard in comparison, because once you've done all the beginning tasks, you'll find the later tasks slightly easier just because of the experience that you would have experienced. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. I just wanted to make an honest video about Amazon, and say don't get like blown away by how easy everyone seems to make it look, because just be real with yourself. A business is a business, and businesses are complicated, they're difficult, they have their ups and downs, so that's very normal. And if you're having a down moment in Amazon, then that's fine. It's very, very normal. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say in this video. I hope you liked it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you find complicated with Amazon. If you have any difficulties, I can make a video about that, trying to explain that in more detail for you. And hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's video. So thanks for watching.